everybody, welcome back to another episode of Fashion Talk Tuesday. I am your co-host Maisha.
And I'm Monica.
And today we have our wonderful guest, LJ.
Hey, what's happening?
Who is a local designer right here in the PNW. His brand is New Radical. Tell us about New Radical.
Man, New Radical, it stands on business, it stands on royalty. And so from the day of the vision of New Radical, it's evolved where I have some product, but really emphasizing personal styling and wardrobe styling. And so come alongside that, just making sure people feel confident in who they are, not what they're told to be. And so New Radical stands for, in the logo, we're all kings and queens, crave for royalty. But that royalty starts from within. Yeah. And so if you don't know your worth within, how do you expect to walk out confidently in that? And so that's what New Radical stands for. I work with my clientele to execute the vision, whether it's on a runway show, executing the vision of the designer, or if it's a personal style or personal styling in the wardrobe, executing the dream, the hope of my client.
So if you remember, we had LJ on our live, and we just had to continue the conversation.
Because baby, it was
they didn't want us to be great.
Right.
So what we're doing now is revisiting the conversation, making sure that you understand the brand, making sure that you see the talent, the gifts, the style that is in the PNW and that New Radical brings. So when you sit down with the client, LJ, with you for the first time, what are you actually looking for before you even think about clothes?
Yeah, I'm looking for their way of process. And when I say that, I mean, how are you thinking about getting ready? What's your first thought? Are you confident? Are you down? What's your style? Just their charisma. Because as a stylist, if I go into meeting my client and this is what you gotta do, this is what it is, this is what style, I'm putting on what I want on them and not listening to what they want on them. And so when I get down to meeting my client for the first time, it's really just, man, like, okay, what are you doing your day to day? Getting to know them, because it becomes I don't want this to feel like a transaction.
Yep.
It's a relationship and we build upon that. And so it's getting that background.
So walk us through what it's like translating someone else's idea, a designer, a photographer, an artist, into something you have to physically build and put on a body.
And just like I just said with the personal client, really getting to know what's the overarching end goal. Yeah. What are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to express? Everything's a story.
Yeah.
Like your guys' outfits are telling a story. My outfits telling a story. And so when it comes to a designer, sitting down with a designer, what are we trying to get across?
Sure.
And then from there, you grab, okay, what demographic, what fit, what texture, what color is going to bring that? Yeah. I mean, we think about corporations and certain colors signal certain things. And so it's like on the runway, photography, photo shoot, whatever, I'm getting that designer's vision, working with them, and then when you trickle down to the model, okay, now how's this gonna work on you?
Yeah.
And making it come to life. And so when it comes in the body, you see every aspect. And if you got 10 models, you got 10 different ways of expressing that where it's all coming together.
I want to go back to talking about the vision for New Radical. And I want to go back there because the name and your mission through New Radical is not normal. Because most people think when you have style, it's external. We always think about the external, what the vision looks like externally. Yeah. But internally, it has to go through how do you want to show up as a person. And we talk about all the time how fashion is psychological, fashion is emotional. Yeah. And I think your vision for New Radical encompasses that. So when you're thinking about how you want people to feel, like, is that something that you think about personally? Like, hey, how would I feel in this first? Do you put yourself in their shoes first? Or do you actually like look at them, help them build their story, help them tell their story to you first, and then build a look around that?
Yeah, so you can't walk people through what you haven't walked through yourself.
Okay.
Listen, he dropping bars.
And so where New Radical came from was, I didn't think I was good enough. I'm comparing myself to the next man, the next woman, and saying, well, they got this, they got that. And because of these trends, and before even trends were popular, it was still like you show up and like, I work at Nordstrom, like, oh, they got this. And it's just like, I'm feeling down about myself because I don't look the part of what the part is. And so doing that internal search of myself, and then when I look in the mirror and saying, man, there's many shades of beauty. And so when I work with a client from jump, I want them to see that. Yeah. They might be like, well, LJ, I don't got, listen, 5-point principle I got. What are the things you see right here? What is the thing from afar? And as you get closer, bring it in. And so I really want them to see that internal. And then from there, let's then build outside of that. Let's build that external to then express what you're about. And the reality is, I think people have this idea of if you got style, then man, you can't have no bad days. You can't dumb it down. You got to be too much. Nah, you got to be who you are, where you are, when you want to be.
Yeah.
And the main thing is walking out in confidence.
I love that.
Look,
Okay.
Sprinkle me, baby.
like that. So as we always talk about, so many talented designers right here in the PNW you would never think of. And we all know La Paisa.
Man.
Miss Nat is
Man.
a wonderful, talented
Man.
designer.
Give her flowers.
Yeah.
Give her flowers. So
Man.
what have you learned working with La Paisa when it comes to just running your own personal business?
Yeah, that I'm not crazy. And when I say that is because as creatives,
Yeah.
people don't necessarily see what we see.
Yeah.
And so they call us crazy. Oh, that's unattainable. That you can't reach that. And there was dreams and thoughts that I had bottled in because I didn't think it was that I was able to accomplish it. And working with Nat, I mean, just from when we first met at her first show last fall, and just sliding DMs and like, yo, you're amazing. This is phenomenal. And getting opportunities to style with her, doing fittings, having conversation was like the things that I bottled in, I can take out that bottle and I can express in. She's a beautiful soul. Like, my heart is to collaborate. My heart is to put on others. Which there was an event that you guys let her talk at in Seattle, and we talked about how does Seattle become this big, like, known for fashion. We'll never be in New York, but how do we put on the map? And it's this collaboration. And so it's like being with Nat, she's always giving people their flowers. And so it's like, yo, I can shine while others shine too. And I don't got to dim my light. And let's keep it working. Let's keep the grind going. And so Nat has just shown me that opportunity is in front of you. You just got to take it.
I love that you said, and this is an unpopular opinion, because you said that people think we're crazy. And as visionaries, as entrepreneurs, as stylists, as creatives, I think we gotta be a little crazy. Because first of all, you can't play with my vision.
Man.
And we have to first protect our vision a little bit harder than anybody else, because we have to show people that it's actually worth it. So we're proving ourselves every day, and we're getting these wild ideas that most people don't even think are possible, like you said. And I want to ask you, how do you fight against that? How do you show people that your vision is worthy of their time, worthy? And we always get out here and we're like, oh, you know, I just need a chance. I need somebody to see me, see my vision. But how do you show that? And do you think you have to prove that to other people? And I know that's a loaded question, but it's something that we don't talk about often, because I think we do have to be a little crazy, because we gotta, and what is it, not even necessarily crazy anymore, delusional.
Man.
We have to be delusional.
As they would say it. I think you gotta be comfortable with being uncomfortable. You gotta be okay with looking foolish. You gotta be okay with being misunderstood. Because I've spoken my dreams in the wrong rooms. I've given my plans to the wrong people.
Is he giving us church today? Today is Sunday, but I'm
Sunday.
And so because I've done that, I've also experienced manipulation. I experienced people who cared about my talents and didn't give a damn about my heart. And I exposed myself in what I feel like I was created to do and be. And in that, I shrunk small. But there was a day where I rose up and said, you know what? I started finding the people that was for me. But I started to find within me what's for me. And in that, I was able to rise up and in that carry the vision and say, like, in this social media world, you got these snippets and you can say love, hate, and joy. And somebody snippet on hate. Oh, he's hateful. You from afar on this platform only see a snippet of my heart. You might misunderstand it, and that's okay. So I'm okay with being misunderstood. But I'm gonna buckle down, stand firm, and if you're for me, let's rock. But if you're against me, get out the way. Ain't no man gonna stop what God's put in my hands.
Correct.
And so I think so many people, they put on their jealousy or what they can't do, and they say you can't do
try to
it.
project it on you.
Exactly, and it's like, hold up, come on, boo. You're putting your fears on me.
Yeah.
I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, so I'm keeping stepping in this.
Yeah.
Can the church say amen?
Amen.
Hallelujah.
So we all know that the fashion industry can be cutthroat. Like this industry is not. I mean, you can have a good heart, but you have to be strong in order to maneuver through this industry.
Yeah, for sure.
So with that being said, how do you handle it when your creative instinct and another photographer, designer vision doesn't immediately line up while working together?
It can be tough at times because when you've been put on an assignment, given an assignment, and there's multiple chefs in the kitchen, come into the kitchen and you're the pepper and you're trying to pepper that thing, but you got over here, and it's like, nah, I was told that we need more pepper. And so in the terms of just photography or creatives, it's like when you butt heads with somebody after you've been given a lane, it's like, hold up, I'm not gonna shrink in confidence in my purpose, but for the business sake, I'm a step down and go back to the head and say, okay, what is my rhyme? What is my reason? And clarify that and stand on business and be like, yo, this is what I was here to do. If you don't need me, then tell me that. There's plenty of opportunity. I can move forward. But if I'm here to do my job, this is what I'm gonna do, and so let's get with it. And so it's buckling down in that moment. If it's in the heat of the moment where things are going, you don't want the models, you don't want the other people to feel that, because people feel the energy, people feel the vibe. And so even if there's that tense moment, it's like, okay, let me bow down real quick and then recircle and start fresh. And so that's how I deal with that. It's like, okay, let me keep in mind the main thing. Let me bag back and continue forward later.
I think when we think about what we are putting ourselves into when it comes to working and collaborating with other designers, creatives, we have to have boundaries.
Yes.
There have to be boundaries and non-negotiable.
Yep.
And I think that we don't talk about that enough because people are like, I just want to be in the room. I just want to make sure that I'm seen. And we lose a part of our creativity and we lose a part of ourselves when we don't have these boundaries and we don't have these non-negotiables. What have been something that you said, this is my boundary when I'm working with somebody, when I'm collaborating, and that helps other people see, I trust myself, I trust my vision, I trust the work that I do.
If it comes in the contents of personal styling, when I'm working with a client, the boundary is you're hiring me to help you execute a vision. You have to entrust that I might stir you away that you're uncomfortable going, but that's why you've hired me. And so the boundary is, if you're gonna push back on so many things that I'm suggesting after we've talked about what you need from the drawing board, the boundary is, okay, we're not a good fit. And I tell my clients that from the get-go. Listen, we're gonna do the consultation, and I don't give it a buck. If I'm not the right fit for you, I ain't gonna force the hand. I actually might give you to another person, like my sis Nikita. Her style is just,
Shout out to her.
Girl, man, she be on point. And so it's like, I had a client and he asked a question and I wanted to pass it off. And so the boundary is, I know my worth. If you push back too much, I'm gonna deter you somewhere else. But in that scheme of a designer for a fashion show and all that, it's, what is the contract? What are we getting into? And you got a contract in bylaws, and I do too. I'm gonna show up and do this, and if you can't respect my time, you can't respect my space, then let's cut that off. Draw a line in the sand. And it might be, let's finish this up because we signed a contract, but listen, I'm taking notes, and you disrespected me, and that's the line.
And it's okay to say that everybody is not for you, because everybody is not going to be for you. So.
Yeah. And just if I can add to that, I think sometimes, whether the season is low, clientele will overshadow that and say, I'll just suck it up though because I need the money. I need the opportunity. It's like, nah, like you keep on doing that, you're going to get burnt out, you're going to get ran over, and you're going to get lost and be in a storm and be like, where am I? You ended up in a place where you shouldn't be because you didn't respect your own boundary.
And I'm going to add to that. I see a lot of people nowadays and allowing themselves to settle for a certain fee that's not their fee just because they know that they can find somebody else, or brand can find somebody else that'll do it cheaper or for less fuss, or they won't set a boundary. And I think we have to understand that when you're building your brand, when you're building your business, that setting those boundaries is real. Even for like when we talked about that, and when you started your business, like maybe I should. I was like, keep your rates.
Keep
your foundation and keep your your boundaries, and that's what people will respect. Either they gonna love it or they gonna hate it, and then if not, you just was not for me. You were not my client.
Right.
You were not my target audience.
And my business coach always says, yesterday's price is not today's price. And so listen, just because you got me clocked in there over that time, listen, it's a new year, it's a new season. If you want to keep it up, man, you gotta stay up. Right. Yeah. And listen, it might change in the conversation. You might come back 5 minutes later. Listen, come on now.
What is the difference about how you're preparing for upcoming projects compared to earlier work you've done?
Yeah, so an avenue of wardrobe styling, it's very new, it's fresh. Really tapped into it this year. How I, beginning of this year, walked into it was with a learner hat, but also with some uncertainties like that imposter syndrome, that am I good enough? I know I can style myself and I can do my personal clientele style, but man, what is this world of wardrobe styling where you're putting together different fits for models and collaborating with the designer? And so it was a lot of nuance, and then even back to like working with Nat and Mark, the lead stylist, just like taking everything in. And so now when I'm moving forward on projects, it's like, yo, I know what to execute. I know my worth, and it's okay that I style different than this person. Like there's a guideline of what a wardrobe stylist to do, but how we go about that could be different. And not to say one way is more excellent than the other. We both have our excellent. And so for me, it's walking into a room, walking into the show, knowing this is my worth, this is what I got to do, and presenting that and achieving that.
I love that you brought up there's a difference between wardrobe styling and personal styling. And for everybody out there that does not necessarily know, there is a difference in the fashion industry, in the fashion community. Could you kind of break that down for them so they can know the difference and what to expect, even if they want to work with somebody for personal styling? They're like, oh no, I thought it was wardrobe styling. To kind of just give them a foundation.
Personal styling, I mean, exactly how it sounds. Well, I can't say exactly how, because you might not understand. Personal styling is very personal, very intimate. You're stepping into somebody's wardrobe, like their house. Like you get to see all the dirty shoes, the clean. Like you get, like it's very personable. And so it's working with the client individually and helping them expand what they do. The wardrobe styling aspect of it is you're coming alongside a designer to display a vision, a mission, like a dream, like you're displaying the art piece of, it might be what that designer is feeling, how they create, and then you're working with that designer, but then you're also working with these models and you're adding these accessories and things to make that designer's vision come alive. And so it's a lot of nuance. Like people might think, as far as like a personal styling, it's like it can be a couple weeks unless you have a returning client, just month to month, whatever. But the wardrobe process, like this show coming up in July next weekend, it's been a month, 4 or 5 months. People might go to a show and like, oh, it just was that, and it's like, promo shoots, video shoots, photo shoots, all these different things, and so many different bodies, so many transactions. It's just such a different body of art.
So we've all worked retail jobs. I know I have. I had plenty. My first retail job was Bloomingdale's, 18 years old. And I can honestly say that retail has taught me to have tougher skin, because you're going to get so many different characters that's going to test you, and you have to remain professional. So with that being said, 8 years in retail before this, what from that experience still shows up in how you work today?
The ability to adjust and approach, and when I say adjust, like we got code switching and all that, I'm not necessarily saying code switch, but know who you're dealing with.
You become a chameleon, right? Kind of like a chameleon.
Yep. Because I worked at 3 different retailers. Tilly's, different clientele customers. Nordstrom's, different. Buckle, all three different. And so I've dealt with people who stuck up, entitled, people who are lost, people, all the things. And so you learn the business of showing up, and it can be ruthless. It can be ruthless. I was a manager, got spit on one time, and You talk about professionalism, girl.
Wait, tell this story because we need to know.
Listen, somebody wanted to do a return. It wasn't Nordstrom because Nordstrom got the return where you could return anything, which I had my first like, really, you returned this? But it was at Tilly's. And somebody came and tried to return a backpack, clearance, whatever. A backpack. What's hot about it? Clearance, the day expired, whatever. Was pissed off. Threw the backpack at me. Went up and I'm behind the counter, spit on me. And I said, oh no.
You had Tilly spitting on people? Like, I just...
Oh no. I went around the corner and she left.
Yes.
And I can see it right now. It got me boiling. Like that's the most up disrespect. Like,
yes.
But so from experience like that to being in the shoe department at Nordstrom's and people like, I don't like that, or you really got put the shoe in their foot, and I don't really like feet. And so it's just, like, you just learn how to deal with it, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna show up well, I'm gonna serve you well, and so that coming to the industry, I'm still fashion, just taking notes of how you deal with certain people. And people need to be treated. You don't know the day that people had, the background they come from, and so being real, authentic, and just meeting people where they are. And that's why I love what I get to do, whether it's personal style, my clients, just meeting them where they are and building that confidence, or if it's on the runway or photo shoots and fittings and all that, like making the designer feel seen, like we're gonna execute your vision, and the model like, oh, you are the perfect fit for this. And so, I mean, just showing up well and meeting people where they are.
I'll go back to when you're meeting your customers and your clients where they are. We don't realize that becoming a stylist is like becoming a personal therapist too, because you're getting into their psychological reasoning as to why they decide to do something, why they're changing, what has caused them to want to even need a stylist right now, and that goes back to the personal styling. So let's hit the personal styling aspect of it. What are your thoughts when it comes to helping your client kind of understand who they are? Because you're essentially getting to know them and helping them become a better person.
You got a far range. Like people think, oh, you only need a stylist if you don't have style. Like one of my recent clients, he has style. You know how you got a writer's block? He was like, I got fashion block. I'm like, I'm a rock with that. Like he got style, but he couldn't see any further. And so really getting to know him, and when I went into his wardrobe, because with all my clients, I'm not gonna tell you go buy stuff first. I want to show you how to rework what you already got. Because he was like, oh, shop and spree shop. I was like, we can do that, but let me work the magic in your room real quick. And he was like, yeah. So we got there, and I was just like, you take the little details, put this hat, this shirt with this shoe, switch this up, the different types of, and he was just mind blown. Like, and we got to this one fit, and he was just like, I'm wearing this today, like what, like, and then I switched the mode and took him, because once you get to the high and you're fixated on something, I took him to a fit that was still great, but he was like, I'm like, you know why that switch? Because you're so high here that anything after that, you were just done after that fit. But you can still, so it's like that emotion, like there's a day where you feel high and mighty and confident in your fit, and there's a day where you're low, and helping my clientele maneuver that. And I seen him, I ran into him at the gym, and he's going through stuff, and I'm like, yo, I'm not just here as your stylist, but if you need me, like tap in. Because how can I say I care about the worth within if I'm not working within you? Then it's just a transaction. It's a dollar sign. And I know what that feels like personally. I don't want to just be another number. I don't want my clients to be another number. I want them to be a body that's in the room, that knows I'm present, that they have a presence, and they will shine bright.
When I think about how the industry has changed and going from just being a number to actually building these relationships, learning people's story, and actually understanding what makes them tick is very important now. Even from a social media perspective, what's growing now is real interaction, real engagement, real community. And I think a big part of community is understanding who you are working with, understanding what makes them who they are, and actually embracing that and tailoring that to them. And I really am just enjoying the life that you have created through your work, and how you change people, how you build them up, how you encourage them through the work you're doing. And it just really stands out to me, because a lot of the time when you're thinking about stylists, people are just thinking about the clothing, and that goes back to what we talked about earlier, which was the external factor of it all. And I think that it has become an emotional part of who we are.
Yes.
And even for myself, like if I wear something, it's because I know it looks good on me and I feel good in it. But how do I show up in those spaces when I don't, like you said, for your client? And I think for me, when I don't feel my best, I actually utilize clothing as a way to put on and make myself more confident. Mm-hmm. And I say, okay, I feel better. Now I can walk out of the house with my head held high, and I feel like I can do it. So kind of touching on that, I know that we're nearing the end, but how do you kind of like help people build confidence internally?
Yeah.
Through external forces.
It's just continue to reiterate the beauty of what's inside.
Yeah.
And how I do that, because like you said, like when you're not feeling up to it, like your fits, how you get ready helps that. And I know for me, like that's very true. And there's times where I'm feeling and I can't get out of the funk. And so what I wear expresses that. It's an emotion. And so with my clientele, I'm like, always ask the question like, how do you walk in the room? What are you feeling when your head's high and what are you feeling when your head's down? Okay, so when your head's down, how do you work up to get it to this point? Be okay with them, because emotion is real. Like, I don't want to shy away from the emotion. I just don't want to put the makeup on or put this on and say, I'm happy. I'm really jolly and good, but you're really like, because then you're lying to yourself. But sitting with that, I'm low, but I'm still going to stand up even in this hard time. And so working with my clientele in the closet and the relational piece of that, it's maneuvering and showing the shadows and the details of all that and saying it's okay to not feel confident one day. Or to be honest, my outfit today, I'm like, it's casual. I'm just like, oh, it's not my best. But because I recognize that, it doesn't deter how I walk. I'm walking in the room, I'm confident. Like, I'll be playing with my outfits, like I might leave here and put something else on, like add to it, whatever. But it's like, it's a journey throughout the day. So it's like, there's times I get dressed in the morning, and then I come back home, and I'm like, oh, let me add this accessory real quick. And so just as it's a flow in that way, and we ebb and flow in our emotions, we can ebb and flow in our fits.
I'll tell you, we in church today. Listen. So with that being said, OJ, let our audience know how to find you.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, New Radical. That's KNEWRADICAL. You can also go to my website, KNEWRADICAL.com. If you want to purchase some product, there's some product that you can go through Instagram, through my Instagram shop. But if you go to the website, you'll find styling services. If you're interested in wardrobe services, DM me. I haven't necessarily put features on my website yet for that, because it's a newer space that I'm loving. And so if you are a designer, you got a fashion show, photo shoot, video shoot, DM me. I'm available, but you can follow me on Instagram for all the details, the website for all the views and all the things.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Catch us on the next episode of Fashion Talk Tuesday.